Hi there. Welcome to episode number 9 of For the Love of Bob. My name's Macmillan. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel to check out another song by Bob Dylan. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everybody's had a good, safe holiday. And looking forward to 2026 here. Hopefully it's better than 2025. Just thought I'd start the year off with something from 1979. As I mentioned in some of the earlier podcasts, I think the first songs I played by Bob Dylan were "Blowin' in the Wind," and then because I was a Johnny Cash fan, I learned "It Ain't Me, Babe." Then the band thing was a part of my life very early on, so I learned "I Shall Be Released." I remember listening to "Like a Rolling Stone" on the radio, and those are some of my earliest introductions to Bob Dylan. In 1979, I was just picking up the electric guitar for the first time, and I was learning a lot of songs off the radio from albums. As well, there was pre-internet. We had books that we would buy at the music store with you could buy songs that were either by artists that you enjoyed, or you could buy these greatest hits types books that had the quote hits of the day. And in one of those first books I had was this song from 1979 that actually won a Grammy for Bob Dylan. And I didn't know much about Bob at that point, his history, his legacy. Absolutely didn't pay attention to critics or things like that. And the album this was off of was Slow Train Comin', which I later found out was a gospel album, or referred to as a gospel album. And there was a whole lot of hoopla about Bob finding God and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't sure about any of that stuff at the time, so I really paid it very little attention. I learned about the history as I went through it, but I still don't really pay it a lot of attention because so many artists, especially classic artists from earlier eras of rock and roll and country music, had produced gospel albums, and my grandmother was a big gospel music fan. So I grew up listening to Johnny Cash, Elvis, the Statler Brothers, the Oak Ridge Boys, all kinds of artists that put out gospel albums. And I just thought it was something people did. Later on, after I got studying Bob Dylan's lyrics and what he did, I realized that he had been making biblical references in his songs, or songs that were of a spiritual nature, for his entire career. I suppose he did double down on it during this period of his career, but even to this day, he still writes songs that have all these references. And a lot of artists do. Springsteen, you name it. Waits, Cohen. Those biblical references are all out, throughout the vernacular of lyricism and modern culture. It's just it's a way we express ourselves, whether we are spiritual or in our own way, or we're believers or followers of organized religion. The whole world has a tendency to utilize these terms. I've used them myself, and I'm a pretty much dyed-in-the-wool atheist, but it's just part of how we talk. And this song, I remember when I was looking through the book and reading the lyrics on it, I felt like the references in it were not necessarily to a god or a deity. The idea of you got to serve somebody in high school, that felt like the system. That felt like teachers. It felt like the system of high school. It felt like the law. It felt like so many things. Later on, as you go through life, you find other masters, and it's very difficult to be free. Sometimes, whether you're working, whether it's a work you have a master or a boss or something like that, you might feel this way about that. Politicians, generals, you name it. Even if you're a rock and roll singer, you still have record companies. In the end, we have to serve ourselves, and that's the person we report to. In my eyes, is reporting to ourselves. And I think for my state of mind, this song, when you sing "Gotta Serve Somebody," isn't about a deity. It's not about a religious thing. It's definitely about answering to yourself. And so, as we go into 2026, here's a little 1979 Bob Dylan from the gospel period. Hope you enjoy it, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already, and have a great 2026. You may be an ambassador to England or France. You may like to gamble. You might like to dance. You may be the heavyweight champion of the world. You may be a socialite with a long string of pearls. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Might be a rock and roll addict prancing on a stage. Might have money and drugs at your command, women in a cage. You may be a businessman or some high degree thief. They may call you doctor, they may call you chief, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. It may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. You may be a state trooper, or you might be a young Turk. You may be the head of some big TV network. You may be rich or poor. You may be blind or lame, living in a different country under a different name, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, and it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. You may be a construction worker working on a home. You may be living in a mansion. You might live in a dome. You might like to own guns. You may even own tanks. You might be somebody's landlord, and you may even own banks, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, and it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. may be a preacher with your spiritual pride. You may be a city councilman taking bribes on the side. You may be working in a barber shop. You may know how to cut hair. You may be somebody's mistress. You may be somebody's heir, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, and it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. You might like to wear cotton, you might like to wear silk, you might like to drink whiskey, you may like to drink milk. You might like to eat caviar, you might like to eat bread. You may be sleeping on the floor or sleeping in a king-size bed, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, and it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Now you may call me Max, and you may call me Bent, you might call me Jimmy, and you may call me Kent, you may call me RJ, you may call me Ray. You can call me anything, but no matter what you say, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, and it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Oh, it may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. 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 Oh, there we go. Gotta Serve Somebody by Bob Dylan from 1979. Part of episode 9 here for the love of Bob. That song I was going to mention earlier has been covered numerous times. Some great versions out there by artists such as Etta James, the fabulous Etta James, the great Mavis Staple, the Grateful Dead, Willie Nelson, Chris Stapleton, Leanne Womack, Jamie Johnson. There's quite a list of people who have Devo covered this one. That just gives all the cred you need there. Also, I heard a very cool version of Marianne Faithfull, the great Marianne Faithfull, doing this song as well. I thought I'd play it on the mandolin here, which I just picked up. I got a little sick. The Grinch came and gave me the flu for Christmas, and I just laid around for quite a few days feeling really, really ill, and playing on this little thing here. So I thought I'd pull it out and do the first song of 2026 on the old mandolin. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that. Looking forward to putting out a whole lot more episodes of For the Love of Bob this year. And I've had a few requests, which I'm going to get to eventually. There's a lot of songs to cover, and I'm kind of glad I did that, or something a little different to start the year off. So have a happy new year. Have a safe rest of the holiday, and we'll see you next week on For the Love of Bob. My name's Kent Macmillan. Thank you very much for joining in, and cheers.